In this case, let's start from bottom to top. So you can see we can deploy Imply clusters on various cloud providers, and we ingest the data in various ways. We can do batch ingestion, but most likely real-time ingestion using various connectors into our Imply Druid cluster. So it can you can ingest the data into it, you can store the data there, and you can also make it available for queries. So you can send queries from different APIs or JDBC. And there's also in the green layer here, there's also the proprietary, very nice, very useful tool that's provided for our customers, which is called Imply Pivot. So it's kind of our visualization layer on top of Imply Druid cluster, which allows you to do all that very fast, very interactive, and very easy to do data exploratory and building dashboards and a lot of other capabilities. And finally, once you have ingested the data and store and query it, you want to be able to manage all that. So for that, we have the Imply Manager that allows you to deploy, to upgrade, to change configuration, to add nodes, etc., for the cluster. So kind of manage all the cluster operations. We also have the Imply Clarity, which we provide our customers as kind of an APM tool for Druid itself, for Imply Druid itself, so you can understand what's going on in your cluster, how your queries or how your users' queries are performing, what the different servers are doing, and to find bottlenecks and treat them as needed. And finally, and this is very important for most companies, I think all companies today, the security layer. So it allows you to do things like role-based access control and role-level access control, different things in order to control who access what data and where. Now, once we have all that in place, then we can have different use cases accessing the data. So we can access the data not only through the Imply Pivot that I mentioned, but obviously that's a good way to do it. But you can also have your own custom visualizations. Some customers are doing really interesting things, for example, by integrating Imply Druid into their machine learning and AI stack, and using that for machine learning inference, etc. You probably have all those dashboards or scheduled reports that you want to do, so you can do that as well. And there are all sorts of use cases of how you can access the data and make it available for both your internal and external users. So if we sum it up, so we can see that basically how Imply does a very good job with fitting those operational analytics purposes. So first of all, it's built from the ground up as a columnar store, so it gives you very fast capabilities. There's kind of a separation between ingest and compute with regards to how the processes are managed and how the resources are managed. So it goes to both fast and fresh. There is a very good native support for rollup on ingestion, which, like I mentioned earlier, is very important. So that goes to both fast, but also to frugal, because if you roll up the data during ingestion, then it can save a lot of compute resources and storage costs at the eventually down the road. Now, when you go to high scale, and I experienced the same at Nielsen, and we've seen in other customers of Imply, that when you go to high scale, you want to be very resource efficient, both in terms of human resource that is needed to manage the cluster and kind of tune it and optimize it, and with regard to compute resources. So Imply does a very good job on that as well. We also have a very good native real-time ingestion support. So it's done natively out of the box, no need to any kind of third-party connectors when we talk about both Kinesis and Kafka ingestion. And finally, with regard to query breadth, so there are different capabilities. I think one of the things that I really like is how many data sketches algorithms are actually supported. So not only hyperloglog, but you also have theta sketch, and you have different sketches that are supported in order to do very fast approximation queries. Not to mention that we, in recent version, we also started adding kind of join support. So you can start play around with that and do some sort of join between your data sources. So I think that covers the query breadth as well.